Up next, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yay!
Yay!
Huzzah.
This movie is enjoyable. Tom Holland turns in a good performance in his first solo outing as the titular character. Michael Keaton is just a badass as Adrian Toomes, and Robert Downey Jr. makes another decent appearance as Tony Stark, Iron Man. Laura Harrier as Liz does okay with the little material and scenes she has to work with, but if you were to remove her from the movie, it wouldn't affect it. It would make the movie better if Michelle, played by Zendaya, was taken out of the movie, as she offers nothing other than to be a token obnoxious douchebag. Also, fans were not happy that she had the nickname MJ. There was one MJ in the Spider-Man universe, and that's Mary Jane. Writing-wise, although for me it was an improvement over Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's still not as good as 2004's Spider-Man 2, which I feel is the measuring stick of how to do a good Spidey flick. Kaiju.
Okay. Let's see. While we've already had a plethora of Spider-Man movies from Sony over the last decade and a half, I gotta applaud Marvel Studios for creating a new version of Spidey that feels familiar yet fresh. While the Sam Raimi films were throwbacks to the goofy days of the 60s comics, Mark Webb's was more of a sprawling and mishandled conspiracy thriller. Marvel and Sony's collaborative effort seems to put more of a sci-fi edge on this version of Spider-Man, which makes sense in this context, as Spider-Man is being mentored by Tony Stark in this continuity. Yet, despite all the technical gadgets and gizmos at his disposal, he is, still at the very core, the same awkward teenager who learns to deal with the responsibilities of his dual roles of Peter and the old webhead. The movie brings to mind the classic proverb of learning to crawl before you can walk. And here, Peter is so eager to join Iron Man and the rest of the Avengers that he attempts to shirk his high school life in favor of jumping headfirst into the fast lane, only for him to crash and burn when it becomes too much to handle. Meanwhile, we have a cast of characters to bring a more youthful and energetic vibe to this incarnation of Spider-Man's universe, including a charming and eager best friend with Ned, the annoying and douchey and insecure Flash Thompson, the supporting and caring Aunt May, the sweet and innocent Liz, and Michelle, who I felt was a character similar to Negasonic Teenage Warhead from Deadpool, who was a parody of hip, edgy teens that try to be cool and uncaring, only for characters in the movie to point out her hypocrisy. Finally, there was Michael Keaton as Birdman. I mean, the Vulture. He isn't given a whole lot of material. He isn't given a whole lot of material outside of a basic motivation to provide for his family by stealing from powerful people. It's nothing new or original, but goddamn does Keaton go to town with the role. Just his presence alone, without uttering a single word, is enough to send a chill down my spine. In the end, Spider-Man Homecoming doesn't break a whole lot of new ground in terms of cinematic Spidey flicks, but it does what it sets out to do. Tell a basic story of a Spider-Man who wants to be part of a bigger world, but must focus on what's truly important before he can reach that goal. It's a faithful adaptation, and it's a breath of fresh air after the mess that was the Amazing Spider-Man series.
The first Amazing Spider-Man movie, it did alright considering what had been left behind with the Sam Raimi series, but after Amazing 2, oh sweet lord, that was just ugh.
Yeah, and as someone who did enjoy the first Amazing Spider-Man film initially, when I went back to watch that movie, you can tell that there were certainly a lot of rewrites. As you can tell, like this was this movie was the result of numerous versions of the scripts, and you can actually see like the stitches. When you watch the movie, you can see the stitches between the different versions of the script.
Because this is the way that conversation me and the commander, he knows who he is, have said throughout the years. Tobey Maguire is the perfect Peter Parker, but as Spidey, needed so much work. Whereas with Andrew Garfield, all right, maybe not as well polished as Peter Parker, but as Spidey, nailed it because the guy just couldn't shut up. But Tom Holland,
that's Spider-Man in a nutshell.
but with Tom Holland, he nailed it both sides.
Oh yeah, definitely. He pretty much plays a very well-rounded Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
I just feel as though, I mean, if Sony had just gotten their act together and just let Mark Webb make the Spider-Man movie that he wanted to make with Amazing 2 and not cut so many corners, we might have gotten a better payoff. But, and here's the thing, Sony still want to go ahead with the Sinister Six cinematic universe. I don't want a Sinister Six cinematic universe, do you?
No.
I do. I will say that
that's when they have a Venom movie.
I will say with this movie, they does a really great job at bringing some other lesser known or other minor Spider-Man characters into the film as minor supporting henchmen, like the multiple shockers and the Matt Gargan, who we got like a teased at being the Scorpion, and he was actually played by a character I really liked in Better Call Saul.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was his name? Nacho, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as I saw that actor, I was like, I know you. Oh snap! You're gonna be the Scorpion. That's cool.
One thing that I have been hearing on the wire that I don't know if Marvel and Sony are going to go ahead with this. So until something more concrete, treat this with pure speculation. They're apparently toying with the idea of getting J. Jonah Jameson to be played by Ice Cube.
What?
I'm sorry, there can be only one J. Jonah Jameson, and his name is J.K. Simmons.
Hells yeah.
That's right.
He's currently working for the other team, so I doubt that they'll let him play ball.
Boo!
I mean, I'm not.
I mean, if you look at it, especially like that's when he was in NWA, maybe because Ice Cube before he became a big Hollywood star, he was very abrasive, in your face, and that's what J. Jonah Jameson is, you know. So like, maybe it could work, maybe it can't. Who knows at this point, you know?
Like if he played a role similar to like the police chief from the newer 21 Jump Street films.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Because if you were to play it like that, as like this authoritative figure within an office setting, yeah, I can see him as J.J. Abrams, like a more abrasive one. It's like, you know, it's like, all right, you know, the newspaper industry is getting dead, so give me some goddamn stories for once.
Oh my god! You said J.J. Abrams, dude.
Fuck, oh man.
We don't have brain farts.
Bum bum ba bum bum.
Hey, I messed up with I mixed it up with
J. Jonah Jameson.
Jeff Bridges instead of Kurt Russell. So it's
Gotta remember, I accidentally said Richard Simmons instead of Gene Simmons when talking about Kiss the Princess Tale, because I was so nervous my first appearance because of the audio issue. I was so thrown off. I'm all, oh god, what else am I gonna fuck? Oh god damn it!
Wait, was that the guy from Swinging to the Oldies?
I think so.
All right, guys, we're gonna rock it out. We're gonna party every night. We're gonna rock and roll all night and party every day.
I meant to say Gene Simmons, but for some reason, my brain did not want to transfer towards my vocal cords that day. My brain just decided to phone it in.
To be fair, a lot of people were skeptical with the idea of Lawrence Fishburne playing Perry White, because based on the roles that he's played in the past, from things like Cowboy Curtis in Pee-wee Herman's Funhouse to playing Morpheus from The Matrix. But to be fair to Lawrence, he pulled it off.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. With what little material he was given.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Until he got hit with the Nolan Ray.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about this.
Thank God Christopher Nolan decided to jump ship when he did after Man of Steel.
Ugh.
Like,
Yeah.
I told you I didn't want to do any superhero. I told you I didn't want to do any more superhero movies.
You can be the catalyst that everyone wants.
Yeah. Who else saw Spider-Man: Homecoming?
I did.
I did too.
Go on, Win.
Let's see. Again, that was one of the 2 rentals I had bought. Well, not bought. Yeah, that I had purchased the other night, and it was the first I watched, and I gotta say, it was a treat. Like most movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Tom Holland knocked it out of the park as Spidey. He got the awkwardness down pack. He got the mouthy, smart alecky, overly opinionated part of Spidey down packed. I loved how he fanboyed whenever in the presence of Tony Stark, because that was something that old Petey was known for doing.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Michael Keaton's performance as the Vulture. It was really well done. Part of you kind of wanted to sympathize with the guy because it's pretty much the little guy getting fucked over by the big corporation turned villain, but at the same time, he knows how to villain very, very well. And the final fight between him and Spidey probably has to be one of my favorite combat scenes, because you don't really see many combat scenes well executed while on a plane that's about to crash into New York.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a very nice sequence.
Yeah.
It's like, please turn, please turn, please turn.
Probably one of...
And he didn't have his suit Stark had modified from at the time. He had his classic homemade one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was nice. I like that too.
Yeah, very nice. We got to see more of that suit. Well,
yeah,
I
liked Donald Glover's cameo. It was discreet, but at the same time, when you've read the article that he wanted to be Spidey, you can't help but go, I see what you did there. See, Sony, this is how you do a movie. You guys have the potential to do good movies like this, the other Spider-Man movies. If you would just stop shooting yourselves in the foot, listen to constructive criticism, also get a better firewall.
Damn.
It's like, this is how you do a movie, Sony, not a commercial.
Has to be said with regards to Keaton as Adrian Toomes, that was a better movie with him as a villain rather than the last time he was a villain in a superhero type movie, aka RoboCop 2014.
Yeah, he really shined in this, and I love the fact that the director gave one of the more B-C list villains a chance to shine. With a couple of the D-listers in the background, like Scorpion and Shocker. Yeah. And I loved how he even kept how Vulture, aka Toomes, kept Petey's identity a secret to Scorpion. If I knew who he was, he'd probably be dead by now.
Yeah.
All in all, I enjoyed the hell of this movie. It was fun, and at the same time, it felt realistic because you saw Parker make a whole lot of mistakes and do his best to fix them. Or I'm probably paraphrasing in this case for Tony Stark's line, you screwed the pooch, but you did the right thing. You took it to the veterinary clinic, did all you needed to do. And it also took a lot of guts for Petey to kind of decline the offer of the Avengers, especially since that was kind of what he wanted to do to begin with, was become an Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, I've said my piece. Good movie. Watch it.
Just reading the comments section from Victor Cross. Fun fact, Mark Hamill was slated to play the Vulture if Michael Keaton passed on the role.
What?
That would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting, but I would have wanted to
mean-
see him as the Hobgoblin, but that's my childhood.
Ooh,
Yeah, I would've missed that, yeah.
I'm
Yes.
such a bad hacker. Bad.
Maybe in the future. Who knows?
Also to note, if they had made the fourth Spider-Man movie in the Sam Raimi series, that was going to be Spider-Man's villain, and from word on the wire, he would have been played by John Malkovich.
Ooh, that would have been interesting.
But
That's an interesting pick.
that
Oh, and they were actually, from what I heard, they also the fourth one. They were gonna have Felicia Hardy in there.
I
Oh,
would have loved
and
that.
a cameo of Mysterio played by Bruce Campbell.
We could have had Black Cat.
Here's the thing: she wasn't going to be Black Cat.
Oh, poopy.
Spoilers. Turns out she was going to be Adrian Toomes' daughter, and she was going to become the Vulturess.
According to what
No.
Sony wanted.
What?
Tony wanted.
Yeah, like they wanted to have Black Cat, but Sam Raimi wanted the Vulture, and Sony's like, "All right, we'll compromise. How about a Vultress?"
I'm like,
then-
no.
and
Yeah,
Sam
that's
Raimi was like,
Yeah, that's like turning Zod into Doomsday. Oh wait, that happened.
That happened.
Although, to be fair, Felicia Hardy technically was Black Cat in the movie series, but it was the game tie-in with Spider-Man 2, the game.
Yeah, it was.
I know. I was disappointed. I wanted it. I loved the game, but at the same time, I kind of wanted an opportunity to see Black Cat on the big screen.
Yeah.
"Plus, you know the games are never canon."
It was also one exchange where they were stopping an art theft going on, and Tobey Maguire says, as Spidey, "Show me the Monet."
Ugh.
But to be fair, with Maguire in the games, he was actually given a chance to properly be Spidey and actually have quips and corny one-liners. It's like, you know what? I can take that. That's all right. And also that one of those oh, you done goofed moments from the movie is when he goes saying up to the suit, assuming that Stark is isn't there. It's like, if you even cared, you would be here. Opens the suit up. It's like, fuck.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, speaking of suits, I gotta say, like, whoever designed the Spider-Man's first and costume and his what would have been his Avengers costume, does it seem like whoever designed those costumes must have been a fan of Ben Reilly? Because we have a sleeveless hoodie, like a reverse-colored sleeveless hoodie for his original homemade suit. And then for the Avengers costume, we had like the one with the spider legs sprawling across his entire torso.
Yeah, in a way, it was an homage to Ben Reilly and to the Iron Spider costume.
Yeah.
I don't know why so many people rag on the suit that Tony Stark made for him in, particularly when he first showed up in Civil War, and then continuing.
Oh, you mean like with the black stripes across his limbs?
See, Random explains it to saying, Spider-Man is meant to be down on his luck. He's not meant to have, to be a high-tech suit like that. And it's like, yeah, but and I had to explain to him, he didn't make the suit. He was given this suit to aid him because it's actually helping him in places. And
I can understand that, but I feel like they still were able to make a character who tries to do so much more than even him and all his gadgets are capable of. And they still made it a point to say, hey, even without all these gadgets, he is still Spider-Man. Yeah. Like that's like the whole ending with the original costume is supposed to imply that he doesn't need all that gadget. He didn't need that new suit at the end of the movie. he was just fine, keeping the basics. And yeah, I can see where your brother's coming from, but I feel like the more high-tech Spider-Man suit was worked in this context.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was probably Marvel's way of making their Spider-Man different from the Sony version. Like the Sony version, sure, it was perfect. It didn't have any gadgets. It looked just like it was comic book accurate. But I feel like with Marvel, I think they made it they wanted to make a conscious decision to make their Spider-Man distinct from that version that they did not want to associate with. I mean, why else would they not bring back Andrew Garfield? So, it's like, let's give our spider suit, this new spider suit, new gadgets. Let's put some black stripes on it to make it let people know, yes, this is the Marvel MCU Spider-Man. And, for me personally, I didn't have a problem with it.
Also, I like the fact that he was actually given an onboard AI in his suit, and
I love that, Karen.
I actually had to look for the credits. I'm like, holy shit, that was Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I like how when he's looking at Liz, even Karen's saying, "Dude, that's that girl you like. Maybe this is your chance to kiss her." I thought that was adorable.
Aww.
All right, take it easy. Take it easy, Victor Cross. He's heading off for the night or afternoon because it's it's about 3 p.m. over on the Pacific coast.
Yep, 3:19.
Yep.
Who else saw Homecoming?
I
did.
Lydia.
All right. Well, this is a movie I've always wanted to see Spider-Man in the MCU. This was not only a superhero film, this was also an homage to coming-of-age films from the high school films from the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like the late, great John Hughes directed a Spider-Man film. The humor was well used, and it fit in certain scenes, but it also knew when to get serious, especially in the scene where Peter confronts Tony, or Tony confronts Peter after he kind of done goofed.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was good. And I was also pleased that they used Tony Stark sparingly when I thought, like everybody else, that this was just going to be Iron Man 4 featuring Spider-Man. The supporting cast was good. The standouts include Jacob, I think I'm pronouncing his last name wrong, Jacob Ballon as Ned Leeds. He had a very good balance of chemistry with Tom Holland. They bounced off each other really good, and it's like it's how I would react if I found out my best friend was a superhero. I'd be like, looking at him like crazy. Like, do you do this? Can you do that? Like, no, dude. And also Marissa Tomei as Hot Aunt May, which, I'll be fair, that gag of them every single movie got a little tiresome. I got a little annoyed. Like, okay, we get it. She's got hot. Let it go. I'm probably one of the few people that actually like Zendaya's Michelle. Although I will say this: if they make her a love interest, I will be really annoyed. I'm like, no, she's not Mary Jane Watson. Stop it. And of course, the legendary Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne. I mean, Adrian Toomes. Yeah, he was a very good villain. Out of Phase 3, he's one of the 3 villains, going with Ego and another villain who I shall mention later. But and he was cool because his motivations come from a place we all can understand, especially nowadays.
Yep.
And Keaton, this has been his year, and he needs an Oscar, not for this, but for other things. It was a fun film and a great potential for the franchise. And I can't wait to see more.
You know, it's funny you mention Zendaya is not Mary Jane Watson. Originally, from what I heard, they were going to make her Mary Jane.
I was going to be pissed if that happened.
Was
I
that
liked
an
her, but
Sorry, go ahead.
I said I liked her character. Watson.
Was it like
Mary Jane
announced
was
at some point that she was casted as MJ?
Yeah, it was. It's backlash.
Hmm.
And they said, "Oh no! She's not MJ. She's not Mary Jane. She's not Mary Jane."
Okay, I could have sworn that that sort of backlash was made towards Liz Allen when she was casted.
I don't think
I
they
guess
had
I
any
kind of
problem.
got. Okay, I guess I just kind of got the news confused, considering they're both characters who were Caucasian or white in the comics that were played by people of a different ethnicity.
Yeah, that's kind of like the backlash they had with Johnny Storm being black in Fan Four Stick, but that movie had its
reprising things about that.
That was the least of the movie's problems. It wasn't even really a problem in the movie itself. No,
Fuck.
there was so much. There was so much
That
more.
That was just a lot of studio interference, putting too many fingers in pies that don't belong.
Mhm.
exactly.
Instead of letting the director do their thing.
Yeah.
This is why micromanagement is bad, people.
I just found
Kind of like what David Ayer tried to do with Suicide Squad.
I just found with Laura Harrier, although she was, like I said, although she was great, she kind of felt like she didn't really need to be there. It was like, if you took the romance angle out of that movie, would it affect it at all?
Kind
I
of,
don't
not
know.
really.
Maybe
Not
because like she was kind of made to be Spider-Man's ultimate goal within the high school setting, whereas Iron Man is like his goal in the superhero setting. So in a way, it's like he's trying to balance two goals and deciding to not being able to acquire either one by the end. Because that's what I really like with Spider-Man's character arc in the story, is that by the end of the movie, he realized he's still, even though he has matured throughout the movie, he still has a lot more growing to do. So it's nice that he did not acquire either goal, but instead is working on a better path for working in both worlds.
Yeah. And also, I was really...
Sorry, but like, who else reacted weird when they found out that Liz was the Vulture's daughter?
Oh yeah, I was like,
That was a weird.
Like, what the hell?
Like, it was kind of spoiled for me, but when I saw the movie, I completely forgot about that spoiler. So when that scene came up, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Like,
even Tom Holland was able to capture that moment perfectly.
No, he was all like, "Oh shit." He even thought, "Oh no, how'd you find out about me? Where's Liz? Is she okay?"
We talk about character maturity. If you look at how Tony Stark was in the first Iron Man movie to how he is now, it's really ironic that the arrogant playboy philanthropist has gone from being a complete narcissist and reckless and irresponsible to him being the mature, responsible role model for Spidey in this movie, with him having being the moral compass. You think, wow, that's a real turnaround.
Yeah.
Even he himself is surprised. He's like, "God, I'm starting to sound like my father."
And Robert Downey Jr., he's another one of those actors. He just doesn't age.
I know, right?
Although, it's interesting because obviously we've talked about Tom Cruise this evening. Originally, when the Iron Man movie, when it was held by Fox, Tom Cruise was slated to play Tony Stark.
Yeah, and he was asking for way too much money. That's why he didn't get the part.
Oh, so he did the Terrence Howard move before Terrence Howard did it.
Exactly.
Oh, is that why Brody was Don Cheadle in Iron Man 2?
Terrence Howard was, for Iron Man 2, he was asking twice what Robert Downey Jr. was making, and Marvel simply said to him, "There's the door."
Hi, Don Cheadle. Come on in.
Oh, on Cinema Wins, not to be confused with our snarky and adorable rogue here. Apparently, in the courtroom scene, when Don Cheadle as Rhodey says, "I'm here," it's like, "I'm here now. Drop it." That was Marvel directly addressing the Terrence Howard audience. Oh.
I could tell.
Nice.
Whew. All right, since Raiden's back, your 2 cents on Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I have to say, man, Marvel. I'm just so happy Marvel has Spider-Man for the time being, man. It's like, how long? I mean, how long has it been since we want to see Spider-Man just team up with other heroes that we have in the comics? Movie wise itself, man, I just had a full blown blast. I mean, I haven't had this fun with a Spider-Man movie since Amazing Spider-Man 2012. You know,
Yeah,
it's just been one fun moment of another. Just Ned just finding out he hates Spider-Man, just had me dying of laughter.
Still, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I just really love the chemistry between the two. I just love the chemistry of all characters. And Adrian Toomes, aka Vulture, suit itself was amazing. You really feel bad for the guy, even though he's a villain. I mean, I feel like that's what half. I think that's what half of villains are like. They have to be sympathetic, but in the end, they have to do what they think is right. You know.
Mm.
So with this movie, I'm just happy that Spider-Man is included, and I'm just hoping for more heroes to just cross over everything, because unity is key with everything. So I'm just hoping for the future after Infinity War.